Well, good morning, my fellow Americans, my fellow Floridians. I hope everybody's well. I pray that everyone is healthy. And for those of you that are not, my family and I'm sure the rest of the world and our population and have you in their prayers. We know this is a dire thing right now. So we hope that all of you guys are doing exactly what you need to do to keep you and your family safe and all those around you. So we definitely take a lot of precaution in what's going on right now, and we hope God just helps lead you all in the manner in which you need to be. And again, we just pray that you all are safe. Everyone's doing fine. So here we go. These are today's top COVID-19 updates. I don't know what's the political term for that, since people are complaining about its name or anything else like that. But you know what? Actually, I don't care. I'm going to call it the coronavirus because that's what it is. So anyway, this is our April 3rd update. Our global numbers have reached in the millions. We are roughly right now at 1,030,193 actual cases. Our total deaths worldwide is at 54,000. People that have recovered worldwide is at 219,837. Active cases right now are 756,000. Here in the United States, our total deaths are ranging at 200, or our total cases right now, are at 245,380. Our death toll is at 6,095. The amount of people that have actually recovered is 10,411. We have actively 228,000 cases. Ones that are serious, pretty much like critical conditions, are at 5,421. So that's pretty much our numbers right now as of this morning. You know, they could be a little off. Different sites have, different numbers according to, who's calling in and saying this is what we got, blah, blah, blah. So that's pretty much where we're at right now, guys. This is a serious matter. You guys, please don't take this thing lightly. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on out there, and, you really can't take away from the conspiracy theories either, due to the situations of everything that's been going on just within the last year. You got to kind of take in consideration everything that was going on. Could this have been a political thing? Could this have been set up to do what they're doing now? To either defile Donald Trump or for Donald Trump to become a global power. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on out there. I've heard other words about the 5G towers that are causing the same symptoms, which is very true. The scientific stuff has been proven on it. So I'm not saying that those aren't some of the cases that are going on either. I can't explain or deny either, the action. But, even if it is seriously happening and it is affecting people, that doesn't consider their deaths and the amount of deaths we've had worldwide. So, you just got to kind of take things with a grain of salt. Do some research on it. And it's basically up to you to figure out where your belief is in it, what's actually going on. But the seriousness and the all reality of it is that it is happening. We are on lockdown, so to speak, and people are dying from this. So, my family and I have pretty much taken every precaution. We don't go out unless it's necessarily needed. My wife works. She has her right to work paper. They have given her. But I keep my family side again. I said I have a mother that has Parkinson's and dementia, and I have a son with autism and epilepsy. So pretty much kind of mandate keeping them at home too. And, I want to keep my mom safe as well. She's in great health. As far as being able to get up and move around. Whatever. These are just her medical conditions, and she's very cognitive and knows what's going on surrounding. She's not dumb or lit or anything like that, so y'all don't take that. These are just her symptoms, and she manages it very well. We all help her manage it very well. So, but I don't allow her to go out, and I say I don't allow her. I don't let my mom go out, so that she doesn't get sick, and she's in good spirits with that too, because she doesn't want to get sick either. She helps out greatly at home. And, you know, my children just stay right here at home. If we go out, we don't go anywhere with that. You know, we don't take them with us. You know, I'm not going to try to put anybody at risk and whatnot. So, anyway, guys, but this is a serious matter. It really is. Again, like I said, I pray for all those that have lost loved ones and for those that are sick as well. I pray that God, you know, puts His grace over you and puts His hand over you and heal you. Um, I just can't imagine going through anything like this. I mean, I have enough disabilities of my own, and I stay sick constantly just because of my health and my immune system. I have a hard time really catching anything, mainly because I have chronic sinusitis, so I'm constantly, you know, with allergies and stuff and whatnot. So anyway, but I don't go out and be touching everybody. I usually have gloves on, and mask on if I'm doing this and that. But yeah, it's a pretty serious thing, guys, and you've got a bunch of people out there ranting and raving and going nuts and everything else. So here in Florida, I'm just going to explain some things to you, just so you guys know. And I'm going to put in my, I'm going to put the link in too, so that you guys all have the ability to do it. I actually have the state ordinance that Governor DeSantis had put in place. Now it's 34 pages, but the actual executive order is only a couple of 2 or 3 pages, and then it pretty much gives you, you know, guidelines of the infrastructure, explaining what's essential, you know, just all the other stuff, and that's pretty much what's on there. But I'm going to let you guys know here in Florida, you know, it's not like we are under some critical martial law where you can't come outside your door. Excuse me. So I'm going to read that to you, but right now I'm going to let you know, kind of update you here in Florida. I'm not going to sit here and break it down by county or whatnot, so I'm just going to do the whole Florida. Right now, we have 8,694 confirmed cases in Florida. As far as our residents go, and for our non-residents that are here, is 314. So we have a total of 9,008 total cases right here in Florida. Department of Health has confirmed at least 1,100 of those, and the ones that are tested by private labs are, you know, 7,500. So with that being said, that's a total of 8,694, you know, excluding our non-residents. Y'all, with that being said, you know, you guys are still allowed to get up and move around. All right, so please, for some of you that think that Mr. DeSantis waited too late to do this, and then you've got ones that are saying, okay, he's still doing a good job. I'm new back down here to Florida. I haven't been here in 20 years. I'm originally from Florida. But I don't know this guy from Hill of Beans. He didn't seem to be all, I wouldn't say knowledgeable. Just when I finally seen him on TV the other day and seen him speaking about it and talking about the executive order, he kind of just looked dumbfounded to me. But he apparently knew what he was saying. I mean, he wouldn't be governor if he didn't know who he was or didn't know what was going on, rather. So anyway, I know he's doing everything he needs to be doing, you know, to the letter of law. And I feel that one of the reasons why our governor had decided to wait on the entire state, I feel in essence is kind of similar to what Donald Trump is still doing right now. We don't have a nationwide ban yet, so to speak, but I believe the governor was trying to make sure that you know, any executive order that came from higher up, you know, aside from him, excuse me, um, he's trying to make sure that, you know, our Constitution and civil liberties weren't being infringed on. At least I feel that way. And on top of that, he knew that other counties that were doing their thing as well. You know, I'm pretty sure he's been keeping an eye on the state and what was going on. So he knew that other counties were setting their standards and putting things in place. So he was trying to pretty much give the powers that be, you know, to each individual quadrant of Florida, so that, you know, he didn't have to bum rush somebody or make them feel over statute. But I'm assuming just because of the pressure, he finally did the whole state. Which, you know, is fine, you know. But people, this is the deal. I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this to you, just to let you know what the actual uh, rules and laws are. Um, so let me get to the part where it's not pushing blah 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 blah. All right, so I'm gonna read this to you. and so we can get this out of the way. It says, "Now, therefore, I, Ron DeSantis, as governor of Florida, by virtue of the authority vested in me by Article 4, Section 1, Title A of the Florida Constitution, Chapter, Florida states and all other applicable laws, promulgate the following executive order to take immediate effect. A. Senior citizens and individuals with a significant underlying medical condition shall stay at home and take all measures to limit the risk of exposure to COVID-19. In concert with the efforts of President Trump and the White House Coronavirus Task Force to fight COVID-19, and based on guidance provided by Florida Surgeon General and State Health Officer Dr. Scott Rifkes, all persons in Florida shall limit their movements and personal interactions outside their homes to only those necessary to obtain the private essential services or conduct essential activities." Now, for the purposes of this order and the conduct it limits essential services mean and encompasses the list detailed by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and its guidance on the essential critical infrastructure workforce. So, that being said, you guys can go and look up on Florida Department of Health. If you don't know which essentials are essentials, it will show you all the liquor stores and bars and stuff like that are closed, at least till the end of April 30th. Not to say that you can't go in and buy your alcohol at the stores that are open, but you can't go out and drink next to somebody. Ergo's the place is being shut down. So, but you guys, look, this isn't a de facto martial law order, as I've seen some people on like AMTV or whatever it is. That guy, I mean, I think he's a little fanatical. I believe he's got some provisions of truthiness to what he's saying, but I think he's just a little out there. I mean, he's kind of jumping the gun on his statistics and everything, but this is not like some mandated going crazy. You're not allowed to do this. We're going to shut you down. Everything else. That's not what's going on. Florida, and any officer here in Florida, as far as I know, if you're going to be seen on the road, it's not like you're going to get, stopped, getting pulled over for being on the road. You're still actively allowed to move around freely. You're allowed to go run. You're allowed to go fishing. You're allowed to go hunting. We're all still allowed to do those things. You just can't do it in a gathered momentum. You can't have more than 10 people gathered in a certain area, and those are the things. That's what's put in the law right now. So we've got to accept that as Floridians and to keep ourselves safe. We can't just allow the government to come in and say, okay, you're going to do this, and us not do anything either. I mean, it's part of our job as humans, not just Americans, but as humans, to make sure that we're safe and being safe for each individual around us. So, you guys can still go out and do things. The people that run and jog and go bike riding, you guys can still all do that. You just can't do it at certain parks or whatever, but you can still do it around your home, around your community. You can still go out and see people, but they're not telling you can't go out and just congregate in a big thing. I mean, so they're not telling you can't do this, you can't do that, and I don't actually think they will. I'm praying that they're not, but I don't think they will. They're not trying to infringe on the rights, they're just trying to keep us safe. And I believe that's what's going on right now. I don't believe that there's too many ownerships and saying, okay, if you come outside your home or your yard, we're going to lock you up. That's not what's going on. So don't be in fear of having to drive down the road if you're actually going to see your friend. It may not completely be essential. People are going to do it, but don't expect to get pulled over, unless you're committing some type of ordinance infraction, traffic law or something. I mean, and even if you do get pulled over, they're not going to be asking you, why you out, the disease is going on. It's not going to be nothing like that. You're just going to be like a routine traffic stop. Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? ID, all that crap. Of course, for us First Amendment auditors, we know, how to handle that situation too. But I just want to let you guys know that, don't expect to just be pulled over just because you're out. They expect things to still happen, and everyone still has the right to go doing what they want to do. You just can't do it in a group, and that's what they're telling you. So that's pretty much the mandated order. Stay away from people. I mean, right now, that's what you need to do. We need to learn to be humble as people right now so that we can get past this virus, get it taken care of. or at least get it under control and get it handled to where, you know, there's going to be a positive outlook on this, and so that we can pick up where we left off and continue to make America great again. It's going to be a long haul. Our infrastructure has been crippled, you know, by this right now, and there may not be a lot of people that are able to bounce back. I mean, once they probably close down now, it's probably for good, because, you know, this is a hard thing to bounce back from. So that all that being said, guys, I mean, again, take precautions in what you need to do. Follow the letter of the law. I mean, it is a law. I mean, it was put in effect. Just make sure you're taking precautions you need, keeping your family safe, keeping those around you safe. That's all I can say anymore. Is just be safe, people. I mean, we're in a time now where real stuff is really happening. And oh, and also just for you guys to know, it does also state in here, which is another topic I wanted to speak about real quick. It also states in here that, you know, you're allowed to go to church. You're allowed to congregate in your church. But inside those congregations, again, you still need to be separated, you know, and your distance wise. So it's not telling you can't congregate, which is another issue I had about that pastor that got arrested in Tampa for having his church services when they weren't supposed to be shut down. The executive order doesn't say that they had to be shut down. The gentleman, as far as I know, on what I've seen and read and did a little research on, the gentleman had the stay at bay in his church going on, so there wasn't no one, like, his congregation wasn't like humongous, and it wasn't, you know, everyone sitting right next to each other. He said that everything was set in place where people were distancing themselves, and they still had services. So I hope that whatever lawsuit he has or what he's being charged with gets dropped and laughed at out of the courts, because executive order says you can still have church services, which they can't legally take that away from you anyway. I don't care what type of pandemic is going on. The Constitution allows us to assemble. Now, even they say they're complaining about 10 people or more, but if I'm in an area where it holds 100 people, and if I get to spread out 6 feet from the next person, and it only constitutes 50 people being in there, and there's only 20 people being in there, and we're all separated, I believe we're under the law, and nothing's happening, and no one's, you know, hopefully going to be affected by that. So either way, we still have the right to assemble, and I don't care who you are, your government, whomever, you're not going to come in and impede on that. That's not just a constitutional right, that's a God-given right. And if you guys want to sit there and, you know, tamper with God's laws, you'll have to answer for that when you get to go see him. So I hope that you guys understand what you're doing and what you're not doing, and how you're going to go about, you know, getting this stuff taken care of. So anyway, I hope that pastor, you know, gets things squared away, get things straight, and let the government know, you know, he's not going to fall down on us. And I'm not going to let it happen either. As a First Amendment auditor and independent journalist, I'm still going to go out and do my things, because my job is essential as well, to track the news and let people know about what's going on. And we're still going to be out here fighting for our rights. I'm still going to be out here doing audits. So we'll see how our audits prevail after we still go out and do this. Every time I've gone out, for the most part, things have been cordial on my end. So I've been quite happy about that, but we'll see how things go on now that the virus order has been put in place, and we'll go from there. So anyway, guys, these are our updates as of right now. I hope you guys are watching. I'll put the link in here as soon as possible for the statewide stay-at-home order, so that you guys can read it. Also, if you need any other updates or statuses, you know, you can always contact your local news channels, contact local hospitals, whatever. But you can go to the CDC website or Florida Department of Health website and take a look at, you know, what's going on and anything that you need to do as far as, you know, your symptoms, if you need to go get checked out or whatnot. And you know, I don't know. I do know that you're supposed to be able to get checked out for free, and I've heard several people being turned away, you know, for this, and that. But you're not really legally supposed to get turned away if you're there to get tested for this virus, because you need to make sure that you're not, you know, sick or not going to be sick, or you're not sick and taking care or getting messed up with someone else. You know, I do believe that that's legal, and for them to turn you away is illegal. I understand that, you know, they're going to do certain tests and say, okay, well, you don't have it, blah, blah, blah. But you have the right to demand to have yourself tested, and they can't turn you away. So if any of that's happening, please, you guys, let me know. Go to my website, Constitution Accountability Response Team, or Constitutional Freedom Fighters, either one on Facebook. Or you can go to my YouTube, which is Constitution Accountability News, and look me up and leave any names and places that are turning you down, or any you know, anything like that. Let me know so I can do some investigatory processes and find out what's going on. And you know, if anything else comes to worse, I'll just get in contact with our mayor or our governor, for that matter, and let them know what's going on. But again, can people just be wise? You know, be aware of your surroundings. Still live your daily lives. You know, pretty most of us, you know, we're all sitting here getting angry, whatnot. But you know, most of us don't do anything but go home, or I mean, go to work, go home, and that's pretty much it. So, you know, if you don't do much of anything else, don't complain that you're having to be home, because that's pretty much what you do already. So it makes no sense for you to complain. Or even those that are, you know, adjudicated to the Constitution and love the Constitution, still, same thing applies, man. If your lifestyle is you go to work, you come home, don't complain that they're telling you to stay home. You know, they're not telling you, you do anything other than what you've already been doing, pretty much. So don't be angry about, you know, them telling you to go home or stay home. You know, that's something that you already do. Now, I know it sounds astounding that, you know, you don't like anyone telling you to stay home. They're not actually telling you to stay home. They're telling you to pretty much stay away from others so that virus doesn't get sent from one person to another. That's all they're telling you. So, you know, you still have the right to move around, the freedom of moving around. You know, they're just taking precautions, and that's pretty much all it is. So, I've had a lot of discussions with several people who are trying to complain about how, oh, they couldn't let us do this. They're not taking anything away from you. Our civil liberties have, as far as I can see and read, are not being impeded on. You know, they're just taking actions to do their best to keep us safe. And I believe in my heart that's exactly what they're doing. But right now, like I said, we're still going to go out and do our audits, and holding those accountable. And we're going to continue to fight for our freedoms here at home, and make sure that, you know, there's not going to be no uprising in their blue line, and making sure that no one's rights are being violated, even during these times of this epic pandemic. So anyway, guys, that's the scoop for this morning. I'm Tim. I love you. God loves you. God bless the United States. Look, if you guys like my channel, go down and subscribe, hit like, leave me any comments that you have, and you guys please stay safe out there. God bless you.
You have been watching CAN, Constitution Accountability News.